Huh? What? You mean the living dead, the Watirs everywhere, the frenzied civilians? I'd say this country's seen better times. But at least something happens. It makes this place less boring.
News. Where have you been these past moons? The whole city's talking about nothing else but the Mad Magister. 30 dead novices. Oh, boy. How could something like this happen within the Order? News. Where have you been these... News. Where have you been these past moons? The whole city's talking about nothing else but the Mad Magister. 30 dead novices.
Hello. Walk blessed.
Yes? Yes? Monsieur?
How am I supposed to pay that?
Evening.
Away at the end of the day. Ta-dum-dum.
My sir, do you have a moment? I think the two of us could do business together.
And here we are. Welcome to Ark. I've got some things to take care of here. So let's meet at the market once you're ready to meet Grandmaster Tealor Arenthiel and his mages in person, alright? By his own son, Nerazul, yeah. But roughly 2.5 years ago, he suddenly appeared back in Enderal, accompanied by a handful of mages who once fought against him in the Great War. Weird, I know, but that's how it was. He did, yeah. It seems that something happened between him and them that made them sort out their issues, you could say. They're allies now, and frankly, nobody quite knows why. You can imagine what kind of uproar that caused among the Holy Order itself. But in the end, Arenthiel got things his way. You can say what you want about him, but he never lost his charisma, that's for sure. You're telling me. But apparently their alliance has something to do with this red madness. I guess we'll see what happens. Oh, sure, I should have thought of that. Pardon me. Alright then. Ark is divided into 5 districts, not counting the harbor. The Foreign Quarter, where we are right now, the Marketplace, the Nobles' Quarters, the South Quarter, and the Temple. If you're looking to gear up, I guess the market would be the place to go. You can find anything there, from food to weapons, armor, and whatever else you need. If it's magical supplies and alchemy you need, however, You best try your luck in the noble's quarters, but prepare yourself for some dismissive looks. Up there's also the bathing house and the theater, in case you have the coin for that. Finally, there's the temple, which is hard to overlook. Normal citizens are not permitted to enter it, and from up there, the Holy Order reigns over this country. But if all goes according to plan, you'll soon see it from the inside. And then there's the Undercity. Yeah, it doesn't, and it isn't. The Undercity's a cluster of caves directly beneath our feet. And down there is where the poor and the sick live, not to mention those that the Order doesn't like to see in their neat, pretty streets in the upper city. Not a place I'd recommend you visit, at least not unless you're looking for mischievous things. Great. Then see you later and enjoy your stay.
My sir, do you have a moment? I think the two of us could do business together. My sir, do you have a moment? I think the two of us could do business together. My sir, do you have a moment? I think the two of us could do business together. Well, it is actually quite simple, but since you were kind enough not to just ignore me and walk by as the others did, I would like to show my gratitude for that first. You travel a lot, don't you? I can tell by the mud on your boots. Here, one of these books might come in handy on your journeys. Which one do you prefer? Splendid! Say, would you happen to be interested in earning yourself some more coins? Or, even better, more books like those? There is something I need help with. I have a problem, and this problem is called Celia, which happens to be my sister. Where should I start? You know, I am one of those people who wasn't given everything by fate. Quite the contrary, in fact. When I was a child, the village I grew up in, Foamville, was ambushed by bandits, and both my father and my mother died during the attack.
Thank you, but it's ancient history now.
Fact is, my sister and I dealt with this event differently. We managed to flee the attack and make it to Ark, where the guards, of course, threw us into the Undercity. But while I tried to honor my father's heritage by using the little I could from our savings by setting up a business, she preferred to wallow in her misery instead. She got to know the wrong people and has, since then, never done a single bit of honest work. Frankly, she's a dust addict. Day and night she does nothing else but rot in those drinking holes in the Undercity and blows what little money she makes on her drage.
Now, of course, she is still my sister. So all of these years I paid her rent so she doesn't have to sleep on the streets. However, things have changed. Recently she started using our father's heritage to pay for her addiction, and I will not accept that. Of course, you wouldn't know that. Glimmercap dust, the blue bliss, or however you want to call it. It's a drage, a dangerous one. Apparently, it makes you feel as if you're walking the eternal paths. But it also kills you quicker than the sunfire.
I put it.
Well, technically it's our money. Basically, it was a share our father had in a small business here. He was so proud of it, you wouldn't believe it. Luckily enough, I managed to save that paper from the bandits and turned it in at the bank a few years ago, after I realized how valuable it was. Since then, it has turned into quite a formidable sum. Nothing huge, of course, but enough to save my business from bankruptcy. You understand? In theory, it is our money, but without me, she would probably have sold it for a bottle of ale, and I won't let her spit on our father's heritage that way. Oh, believe me, I did. Which is why she simply hid the key to our safe in the bank somewhere that I couldn't find it. So, long story short, this is where you come in. I want you to get her to give me that key. How you do it is up to you. But if you succeed, it won't be to your disadvantage. Anywhere there's rats and dust. But she spends most of her time in the False Dog in the Undercity. One of those dumps I told you about. Just come back to me once you've found something.
An outlander. Isn't this nice? An outlander. Isn't this nice? An outlander. Isn't this nice?
Why is that stuff so expensive?
Evening.
Evening.
Work. Huh? Wait, I think I know you. You work for the Order, don't you? Why are those wild mages up in the temple? Malthus, forgive my doubts, but why would the Grandmaster side with heretics? It just doesn't add up. Walk blessed, my sir.
Oi, you there. Don't look at me like that. Looking for trouble, eh?
Morala's blessings, my friend. Well, flee isn't exactly the right word for it. I call it tactical relocalization. Only a stupid businessman will try to sell spices amidst a civil war. Well, they are blasphemy. What else? The gods have reigned win for millennia. Whoever thinks one could just kill the gods as they could kill a rabbit must be another fool. Oh, well, after those rumors about the Lightborn's death started, the council members must have thought, now's the time for power struggles.
These are hard times.
Very stupid, if you ask me, and very bad for the economy. Thank the sun I was one of the few who fled early enough. But this madness has cost far too many lives. Far too many. Farewell.
Yes?
Stop ignoring me.
A penny, my sir? Please, just one penny.
Wait a moment. You're an outlander, aren't you? Only if you know what to look for. I'm one myself, so I do. Balhazel, pleased to make your acquaintance. Tell me, if you're new in this city, are you perchance also looking for work? Excuse me, what was I saying? I'm looking for a hand.
Oh, well, Tito's gone.
Well, neither do you. But to answer your question, I'm Arizaline, but third generation Arizaline, so it doesn't show that much anymore. Apart from my name and my skin, there's little left of my roots, I'm afraid. Anyway,
How am I supposed
so
to
what
pay
did you
that
say?
much?
Interested in some well-paid, honest work? It's simple. I want you to find something for me. You know, I'm a healer, just like my father was, and my grandfather before that. When he came to this country, he did so because he had been hired by an Arca noblewoman, a bright lady who valued science and the arts of healing. In any case, my grandfather spent a large portion of life working for this lady in an old, abandoned fort near the now deserted village of Fogville. Together with a good dozen other apothecary, he planned for my father to succeed him. But before he had the chance to, the mushroom plague occurred.
Hey guys, I just realized I had my mic muted this whole time. I am so sorry for that. There hasn't really been a lot that I've said that was very important, just that, you've seen everything. So I hope that doesn't discourage you guys. I'm so sorry about that. I had to mute it because there was some background noise and I just forgot to undo it.
Yes, that one. The spores of those mushrooms have literally sucked all the life from the forest and its surroundings. Plus, they are a threat to everyone who comes close.
Did your grandfather's work have anything to do with that plague?
It does seem likely, doesn't it? Both my father and I have asked my grandfather this question too, but he has always denied it. The plague was a magical phenomenon, a freak of nature, no more, no less. Those were his words. However, I've made some troubling discoveries which have led me to doubt that. I believe the plague might have been fabricated.
Okay, why would anybody want to do that?
Well, this is exactly what I want you to find out. Unfortunately, the noblewoman who my grandfather worked for has long been dead, and she was the last in their bloodline, so I couldn't find any answers there. But the old fortress where they worked still stands. Go there and look for answers. If my grandfather had something to do with this, I want to know.
And why is this so important?
Isn't that obvious? Because I want to understand. You know, we Arzalines believe in the debt of blood. If my grandfather committed a crime, it is my responsibility to atone for it. Plus, I believe that if there was a way to, well, to cure that plague, it is hidden within that fortress. Whatever harm the mushrooms can do, they can also reverse it. My father never cared much about all this, but I'm different. If there's one thing I want to achieve in my life, then it's clarity.
Alright, and why don't you just go see for yourself then?
Look at me, you'll have the answer. I'm old and far from made for the road to begin with. Furthermore, all those undead who have been roaming the wilderness since that red madness began don't exactly make the idea more inviting. But don't worry, if you succeed, I'll make it worth your while.
Alright, fine then. I'll see what I can do. Where can I find the fortress and what do you need me to look for?
Reports, scrolls, samples of their work. Anything that could be of relevance. Just look around. Do you have a map?
Sure.
Here, the fortress should be in this area. Best you take Myra to Fogville. In the village harbour, there was a hut where my grandfather lived when he was off duty. Chances are you'll find a key to the fortress there. Good luck, and thank you. If you have found the material, you can find me in the Undercity, near the old waterworks. My laboratory is there.
Move along.
Alright, well, guys, I know this episode has been a little bit weird because I didn't have my mic on and everything, but I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I'm just going to be exploring the town. I'm not going to accept any more quests or anything from anyone, but I am going to explore the town off camera, do like my shopping and stuff, and getting rid of a bunch of the weight that I have, because I've actually almost maxed out my carry weight. Because I've picked up weapons, a lot of weapons and armor and things. So I need to head to the marketplace and sell some stuff. I don't want to bore you guys with inventory management. And I know I'm supposed to meet Jespar there, but I'm not going to do that until I come back for the next episode. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this quiet, odd episode that I had going on here. As always, hit that like button if you did. Comment down below, let me know what you want to see in the future, and for more videos, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.